Now, the drawback of filming this at home where the kids are is that it will have to be short clips and then I have to run off and avert murder. This episode is a direct continuation of the last one where we were in the mountains and practicing the shooting. And we are now going on a trip to Austria and we'll show you a pretty good representation of what you will get out of the training and how that translates to the actual hunting. And also we'll do some of those requested gear reviews, and don't worry, I'm not going to show you my underwear. Now, in order to give this episode proper teaching value, it is useful to know a little bit about how your brain works. In New Mexico last year, I had a short, inspiring talk where we talked a little bit about why do smart people do incredibly stupid things. How not to mess up, it's really the best you can hope for. We are going to bend the principles a little bit to better illustrate on the camera, but if you want the source materials, Daniel Kahneman has researched this extensively and his work on decision psychology can be found in the book Fast and Slow Thinking. Imagine this board as your brain, not because you are this dense, but because there is limited space available. And you could say learning a skill is pretty much like a puzzle, or what I would call a work stream. You have to identify all the individual pieces that make up this puzzle, and you have to figure out where each piece is going to fit. This is where a good instructor is going to be really helpful for you. If you have the option to have a teacher, your progress is going to be a lot faster. So this is basically my long rifle proficiency test. Once you have all the pieces in place, it's quite quick to get it on the table and have the desired effect. The basic principle is that the brain divides all tasks into either slow or fast thinking, but can move the same task between the two. This is how you drive your car, and the difference between slow and fast thinking is traffic or no traffic. The PRS competitor shoots in a fairly controlled environment and benefits greatly from the fast thinking system. Almost all the decisions are made before the shooting starts. The hunter shoots in a more complex environment and needs the slow thinking for far longer. The hunter needs to be wary of not entering System 1 too early. Okay, so that was essentially the mental process I have before every shot. Now, please note that I did not make the decision to shoot a target before it was identified. I had made sure I had a safe background and my wobble was acceptable.
This episode contains sponsored items. Before you go, subscribe, like, and comment. Click the bell if you want notifications of new episodes.
So this is Austria again, and it looks like we're into a serious bit of suffering trying to get another chamois in some of the most beautiful country I have been in. Okay, so we'll see how this goes.
غيرتي حالي يا لا عيشة ولا لا عيشة الله مولانا وهي الوري عنك رميت نار هيا مولانا ما نبا وبا هاكي بزراني ويا الولي.
A few hours we expect the sun to be very strong here, so
It's already getting too warm.
yeah.
This is the area for young people. What? Young people? For my son. The good thing I have a midlife crisis.
يا بابا حبيبي الله مولانا وهي الولي أري كرميت نار هيا مولانا ما أجيب جراني ويا الولي
I'm not sure how well I captured this, but this is steep country.
غيرتي حالي يا لا عيشة ولا لا عيشة قناوية وبابا والله الله وبابا بابا بابا
Von oben ober, der zweite war ideal. Ideal. Von oben ober, der zweite war versprochen. Ideal.
What did you have money to the schießt so?
Da können wir schießen.
Really a nice place inside there. Which is for the panorama much nicer than even here. Yeah? And if we are walking out and they are still there, we can take a second one if you like. Yeah?
Der war da drum ist. Der Kessel. Und shoot hier. Ist gut.
Das ist viel zu weit, das ist 500 Meter.
Schau mal, wer zahlt da nicht um? Der andere.
Just in case you are wondering, this is beyond beautiful and you should go when you can. I mean, it's just fantastic being here and seeing these landscapes.
Das ist aber dem so früh vorstellen können. Kannst du mal Hostel 12 Uhr Hostel. Das ist wie heute. Das Hostel, ja, der muss links daneben. Auf 12 Uhr ist dann, ja. Die muss jetzt erzählen. Genau. The one at 11 o'clock, which is looking down the hill. This is still the one we are facing. Da kommer nog mer. Okay. This one which in the middle, grey rock. The one at 9 o'clock from the grey rock. From the grey rock at no, up at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock? Yeah. Which is not up, is there to the right side.
To the right?
To the right there.
Okay. And he has a group of chamois coming behind their ass.
This one which is standing now on the top.
Almost the top, there are 4 that's standing on top.
Yeah, no, not this one which you have a background for the bullet.
Yep, exactly. Thank you. Standing with the head to the left.
Yeah. Now moving up at one step.
I'm on him.
Right. Looking to the right.
Yeah, correct. I'm on him. Can you have a look and see if he's still in the large camera?
Yeah.
Good. Lost the background.
No.
Safety on.
second one from above, right to the grey stones.
To the right of the grey stone?
Yeah, pointing the face to going down again.
Yes, okay. Not the one at the very top, but the one 5 o'clock from the grey stone. Yeah. I'm on the right animal. Yeah, she's moving down, shaking her head. That was above.
Alt, oder?
Ja, so wirft die richtigen Stücke mit der Kamera. Gibt's dann mit der Kamera drin?
Terrible. Clean miss. Now that's awkward. But really, that is what you have to expect when you crash the group dynamics by doing something stupid as shooting a miss. Now imagine this situation if I had actually wounded the animal. What sort of a nightmare day would this have developed into? On these trips, you have to understand that you are essentially a stranger with a gun. And to violate the trust in this manner, it's not going to go well anywhere. And just to be clear, I was very lucky with this shot. I made a mistake and it didn't cause any negative consequences other than, breaking that trust you are supposed to have with the people with you. Now, my advice when you have messed up like this is just to be factual. Check the rifle and usually you will find that there is no mechanical error. As you probably can imagine, shooting a miss like that was quite the embarrassment for me. But at least it was a clean miss and we already figured out what I did wrong. Dial the horizontal range and not the slant range. Now, a contributing cause to this error is the design of the Swarovski menu system. When I shoot a laser, you're first presented with a point that draws your attention and then you will have two sets of data. One false and one true. Now, if you're running the shooting in the system 1, you also have the drawback that everything that doesn't fit into the mold is just being discarded by the brain. So even though the machine gives me both values, the brain is essentially lazy, and in system 1 everything that doesn't fit the mold is just discarded. You will not register it. Nah, this isn't important. Just throw it away. As it turned out, this miss here is a perfect teaching example of what I've been trying to tell you about how the brain works. Never underestimate the importance of keeping your head on the job. Now, and just to be clear, this situation is created by me, not the Swarovski menu system. That's only a contributing cause. What causes this error is that I'm filling my head and putting my attention on other things than actually killing the deer. And I'm putting far too much emphasis on camera, camera and camera. And essentially because I want to make a good film, I am introducing risk, and which thankfully led to a miss. Had the menu system been designed better, this would likely not have happened because there would have been only one set of data entering into the shot. It's starting to become pretty obvious what I have done wrong. I simply haven't paid enough attention and I don't realize that I am missing a piece. And sadly for you, cameras has to go, and essentially what this means is that the videography will go downhill from now. I said it before, keep your mind on the job and not the distractions. I was just as set on capturing the landscape as I was shooting the animal. Hopefully that will correct some of the poor impression I must have made. Now there's a fox down there. We'll see if we can get our sights on that one. Okay, now we'll just wait for Hannes and pack up and carry everything up there. It's going to be quite a job. Good.
Etwas rein nochmal hin.
Anders, danke.
Perfekt. 1 year.
Yeah.
Kid.
Yeah.
1 year. 2 year.
Try. So it's this edge here and this edge here. Yeah.
Und this here.
That's the exit. This is when the serious suffering begins. The Gams is shot and you have to retrieve all the gear and carry it back. And these mountains really don't care. So it felt good to put the cameras aside and go back to focusing on the job and get a proper kill on the Gams and then a fox. And now it's just hard work of getting back home, seeing the road. And I also have to get over the mountain, oh, that one on the right there, right up the scree. And it's a daunting enough task without the Gams, but such is the rewards of doing this.
Right?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll admit, this isn't too fun. Now what you're seeing here is basically me fighting against dehydration and heat exhaustion. If I push too much here, my muscles will basically go into cramps and I will suddenly be a liability instead of an asset. Hydrate, but also make sure to maintain your electrolyte balance. If you don't have the electrolytes, your muscles are not going to contract, and without those contractions you're not really going to have any strength. I want to stop chafing, I want to stop infections, I want to stop pain, and I want to stop noise. Essentially, I'm bringing what I need to protect my sleep. I can stay alert and be present and correctly evaluate what dangers the terrain has in stock for me. And you remember the expert tip, don't fall. And it's quite obvious that it will not go well for you if you fall here. It's not that obvious here, but there is still a lot of potential energy in the terrain, and to correctly assess what's happening around me, I need to stay alert. And these are very small items, and I focus on eliminating contributing causes that may cause me to trip, stumble or fall, as that is known to be the most dangerous incident you can have in the backcountry. And if you do survive the initial fall, the good news is that hypothermia will be what gets you next. So that is why I carry insulation and a piece of foam, simply to buy myself time. Now these are my health and safety items. Everything on this table contributes to either a better shot, better communication, or just plain safeguard your health. Now I wouldn't want to be without any of these items, but you can make smart choices, and in that regard this little bipod here, Neopod, is actually quite unique. Far from perfect, but if you are looking for that very lightweight option, I think it's very hard to find something better.
Subscribe to the THLR channel by clicking the left logo icon, so you'll be shooting straighter than a drunk skunk before the sun shines over northern Norway.